room tones. The two kinds of people, those who must see the body, those who cannot see the body. The effort to not appear despondent in company only makes me seem pensive, prompting inquiry throughout the night from friends who are concerned for my well-being. You're quiet tonight. What's on your mind? Are you okay? Has something happened? How are you feeling tonight? Penny for your thoughts? Shame. The screech of blood through the droning of a snowfield. The ordinary asserts itself amid even the sheerest griefs and the freshest and most visceral anguishes, banal comforts, daily worries, bodily desires, sought and felt inside unfolding catastrophe, even contemporaneously to catastrophe's appearance. Not just the gut and libido, but also the mind, i.e. no clean mind-body division. Addicts so hopelessly under the lash of disease or habit as to be seeking a fix while, by the minute, the view of the asteroid gains definition in the sky overhead. The defining quality of the ordinary, a violent persistence or insistence of presence, a perfectly absolute unrelentingness. That I've now experienced exactly this incursion of the ordinary through successive griefs, turmoils, private hells, etc., suggests that this must simply be the ordinary behaving as such, i.e., ordinarily. Generally, we discuss the ordinary in passive terms, a docile state to be shattered, torn through, upturned, i.e., disrupted or interrupted. Can its force be perceived only relatively? A ferret sealed in sausage casing, still living. How satisfying it is to walk home from the liquor store, a collection of bottles in hand. I nurse them in my arms, precious as an infant, cloaked in a brown paper bag. How satisfying it is to carry alcohol in a brown paper bag. 3 of life's greatest pleasures come in brown paper bags: liquor, records, and books. There's nothing quite like the sound of liquor being carried in a brown paper bag, the paper soughing with every step, the gentle clinking of bottles, a percussion of promise, of promised relief. Tonight I have 2 bottles of wine and a bottle of rum. A bottle of rum, a bottle of spirits. A bottle of spirits, a bottle of ghosts. A bottle of ghosts, a bottle of memories. A bottle of memories, a bottle of demons. Tonight I will drown my demons by the bottle. They give me the pills, I give the pills the worst of it. The pills take away most of me. The thought that only seems to seal a space, like a tattered tongue of cellophane drawn across a plug hole. Less the will to life, which is active, than what? The loath to death, which is passive. No, this implies a fear of death, the outcome, where really there is merely a lack of the courage required in order to live no more, a fear of suicide, verb, the action, the ignobility of endurance. The suicide urge makes any future seem impossible, or arises when any future seems impossible. Either or, diagnosis, lack of imagination. My own clasped hands tonight remind me of a custard apple. The worst question, are you okay? The horses it ties you between, being too nice to upset anyone, being unable to lie, wanting to get better, wishing to die. Your sense of self-worth is too small. Tell me, what would be my optimal SWMI, self-worth mass index? A castaway on an ocean of time. Always hovering at the edge of every experience, hand out, imploring friends with my eyes when they recognize me, spare any change of mind. The feeling of standing skinned before a roaring inferno, The feeling of being suspended by one's ankles, frenzied and nude. A long, anxious dream. Sitting at a desk, trying furiously to remember my own signature. Crumpled pages overflowing a wire waste paper basket in the corner of the room, as in old films. You must be, what, late 30s? I'm 28. Each moment a new experiment in subsistence. The truth of it is, I don't go out and buy a rope on a good day. If I truly wanted to do it, I would already have done it. Since I haven't, I must not truly want to do it. A fraud, even in this. I wish I could turn love to words. I wish my words were love. My final glimpse of him living. Looking over my shoulder as I am hurried from the hospital room. He is howling out in agony, this man I have never once heard complain of discomfort or pain. On either side of me, nurses rush past and gather in his corner by the window. They stoop over him like jabberoos around a carcass. I see his teeth clenched and bared, his eyes screwed shut. Beneath the steam-pressed sheets of the hospital cot, so eggshell blue and serene amid all this rude animality, so polite, he bucks and spasms at the groin, like he's coming. No one touches him, yet I will find myself fending off the impression on many grave nights hereafter that today I have watched him resist a brutal manhandling. Now the nurses pass words between themselves in tones of immaculate rationality. Tubes are duly inspected and monitors checked. The modesty curtain surrounding his cot is drawn. And that's it. He's been reduced right before me, and in a matter of instants, to the ontological status of task. Goodbye. Thank you for helping to raise me. I stand in the white of the hallway long enough for the howl behind the curtain to turn thin. In it, I hear desperation yield to exhaustion, and am struck by the terrible thought that despite the day's tribulations, that exhaustion may yet be anticipatory. I can't help but think of a terrier lying pinned on its side beneath a cruel work boot. Calmly, the pressure of the boot mounts. He is the first member of my family I've known to die, and in this moment, I know that he will die. I find that my hand is reaching for the phone in my bag, is already disentangling my earbuds, and that I am wondering which song I will cue up to play in a moment when, volition regained, I turn the corner to call the lift, whose slow closing doors will be the final cold curtain on this monstrous day, on this life. To diminish in weight, height, and moral fibre until I vanish completely. I love that you're depressed. I know exactly what you mean. What may be hardest after all is how hard things are when things aren't hard or are hardly hard. Indefinite difficulty feels like the hardest kind of difficulty to endure. But can it really be so hard? Or is it hardly difficult after all? Because, after all, I endure.